Hi guys, Wrap of this side. And have you ever wondered why some of your desire manifest easily while few desire almost feel impossible to achieve? We all have desires, some big, some small, but why is there so much conflict within us when we think of manifesting things like financial freedom, starting your own business, starting your own YouTube channel, or even curating a pathway for a creative endeavor that we want to pursue? For the most part of my life, I was curious to know the answer. And what I have found is that there are mainly four evolutionary stages through which desire needs to transcend in order to manifest in physical reality. Understanding these stages will help you to uncover how a desire for something which is right now just a far-fetched dream can be brought to the life. Use this information to really diagnose where you stand right now and what next step you can take to speed up the progress in your journey to reach your goals. I'm super excited to share this video with you, so let's jump right to that. Alright, so any desire that has ever been manifested, it starts with denial. So this is the first stage that everyone inevitably begins with. And here you are kind of like see something, observe something and wish that you can have it or you can experience it. But what happens here is that you tell yourself all the reasons why you can't have it. Here you are kind of sweeping it under the rug because you believe you just can't have it. So what's the point in thinking about it? Right? You are confused because you wanted something but you couldn't have it, so you just procrastinate and just do bare minimum, or you feel frustrated and look at the others and make excuses like, oh, this person has this because of this, they are rich because they are naturally talented, or they were born in so and so family. So you make all sort of excuses to justify why you are not worthy of that desire and operates from this mentality of victimhood. But little did you know that all this is just made up and you are doing it to feel safe. You are inventing all these excuses trying to be okay in your current situation. And you do not even confront these excuses. You make this assumption and look for the proof to validate it. But ultimately, what it leads you to is suppression and repression of these desires, which inevitably make you suffer and make you become this bitter person where you are like not taking the responsibility of your own desires and allowing yourself with all this reasoning to stay stuck. Why? Because you never question the validity of these assumptions of why you can't have it. These limitations, these excuses, they are valid to the extent that you keep them valid. The next stage that desire goes through is the acceptance. Here you have little more energy to at least daydream about your desire. Here you start to see the little possibility for it to be true, but the realization has not fully occurred. You are not fully convinced that you can have it, but you still allow yourself to think about it and daydream about it. At here, you are stuffing all that desire in and resisting it, but at least at this stage, even though you might not fully accept that you can actualize that desire, you somehow consider the fact that maybe I can get to this, but I don't know yet. You are like, it's nice to think about it, but I'm still not very sure. So you start to see small beam of light at the end of the tunnel. You start to consider the little possibility of that to be true, that you can get to it, right? This is still better than denial because here you are fully apathetic. But now at least you are a bit more optimistic, right? You start to see a little opening in the door. You look at the people and read about their journey and start to realize that they were no different than you are. They were once in the same spot that you are in today. But still, here there is no forward movement toward the goal, right? But what happens is that eventually the pain goes strong enough from daydreaming, and this is when you move to the next stage. So the stage that comes next is the transmutation. So here you slowly start to transform your desire into the intention. Here you start to put the effort toward your desire. You start to take some actions, start to create a plan and define the next course of action. So here now the desire is not just a daydream, but you actually try to get it. You start to make some progress and put in the effort. But that resoluteness is still not there. You are still not 100% sure that you are going to get it. That's why you see some fluctuations in your effort. This is the stage where the major issue that you deal with is inconsistency. Because one day you feel optimistic, you put a whole bunch of effort, take a whole bunch of actions, and the next day doubts get steeped in your mind. And you start to get anxious, you curl up in the bed and hide under the blanket. So if we were to represent it with the help of a graph, it looks something like this. You have the highs and you have the lows. You oscillate between highs and the lows. You are optimistic here, you are on the roll, you are on the streak and full of energy. You put in the work and make progress, getting the momentum on your side, and the next day or the next week you lose all the momentum because the doubts start to creep in your mind. You start doubting yourself and you start to feel overwhelmed looking at all the work that still needs to be done. So you feel anxious and frustrated here, and you hide under a blanket, afraid to take action. So you gain momentum with the actions and then you lose it with the inaction. You sabotage your progress, right? But you see some forward movement here. At these stages, there is no forward movement. But here, you at least start to make little progress toward the desire. But it suffers from the lack of consistency. Here it's kind of you believe that it's 50-50% chance. You may or may not get to your goal, but at least here you are putting in the effort. So please understand that having a desire alone is not enough. This desire needs to be transmuted completely into the intention. Desire alone has no power to manifest. It's just the potential. Desire is the potential that needs to be transmuted completely into the intention. And that desire needs to be translated in some sort of physical actions to really move you to your goals. Because when you take actions, your mind starts to see the possibility to manifest your goal. For a desire to be manifested, your heart and your mind, they should be in alignment. It's easy to get heart on board, but it's the mind that is more logical and more intellectual, and it needs proof to really believe that this desire could be achieved. So here you are going back and forth between daydreaming and acting. One day you feel courageous and hopeful and take massive actions, and the next day doubts start to creep in and you lose momentum by the inaction. Now what happens is that when you get tired of going back and forth between these cycles and pain of being stuck and trapped gets stronger, you move to the stage 4. And the stage 4 is the miraculous one. And it is the intention. This is the stage where the real magic happens, right? Because you are extremely tired of going back and forth between actions and inactions, you completely detach yourself from the outcome and you put your head down and do the work and get fully immersed in the process. So look at it this way. Desire is the fundamental assumption that goal will not be achieved. That's why you are attached to it. The intention is this fundamental assumption that goal will be achieved. It's just a matter of time. So you focus on what I can do now to expedite the process, to expedite the achievement. You see what I mean? Attachment only comes when there is a doubt, like you get attached to the money because you have the doubt that it may go away. When you know the money is always going to be there, no matter what, there is no attachment. So here you go from being goal oriented to the process oriented. This is the stage where all the desire has been transmuted completely into the intention, and you just make this fundamental assumption that goal will be achieved. It's just a matter of a time. You don't even doubt an ounce of it not being manifested. So, to give you an example of this, the other day I was looking for my marker in my drawer and I couldn't find it. I was not very sure if it was there, so I was kind of half-heartedly looking for it. Then I asked my father, and he told me that marker is in the drawer. He has kept it there. Then when I looked for it, I was looking with the intention. I knew it is there, so there was this different resoluteness in my search. I went fully into my search and I found it. This is the intention. The intention is that I know the goal will be achieved, so let me fully immerse myself in the effort. This is the complete surrender to the process and the actions without having a sliver of doubt. If you look at the most successful people, they have operated from this state. Like Jeff Bezos, he made this fundamental assumption that Amazon is going to be the next big thing. And he made that assumption back in 90s when everybody doubted him. But he operated from that assumption and worked with the pure intention without even doubting himself one bit. He immersed himself in the process and see where he is right now. The thing that brings any desire into the physical manifestation is the intention. So please keep this in mind, that desire is the fundamental assumption that a goal will not be achieved, while intention is the fundamental assumption that a goal will be achieved. One way or another, the goal will be achieved. Right? So now let's discuss few key takeaways from this video so that you can move through these stages quickly to achieve your goals, right? So the key number 1 is that you need to have awareness of where you stand right now. Just get fully cognizant of where you are right now. Just having that clarity will help you immensely to move through these stages. What happens is that we keep fighting ourselves and we keep falling back into this inner conflict without even knowing what the problem is. If you take a step back and look at where you are right now and what is stopping you, you can start to focus in the right direction. If you are at the stage 1, ask yourself why it is not possible for you, why you can't get to that goal. If you find yourself at the stage 2, ask yourself what process can lead you to your goal. What is the one thing that you can do that will help you to move one step closer to your goal? And if you are at stage 3, ask yourself what are the doubts that you are still entertaining and why you are keeping them valid. These doubts, these blockages, they are valid because you keep them valid. Look out what are these doubts and stop entertaining them and go fully in, right? And key number 2 is that when you have got that awareness around where you are right now, reflect on what the future is going to look like if you continue to be this way. So just project into the future and see if you were to continue like this, then how your life would be in 5 to 10 years from now. If you were to suppress and repress these desires and not accept the possibility of it even happening, and you don't take the responsibility today, how will your life is going to unfold 5 to 10 years from now? How are you going to handle all that bitterness and resentfulness knowing that you didn't even try it, right? So take time and reflect and project onto the future. Draw the image in your mind and ask yourself these questions. And the key number 3 is that you must make this fundamental assumption that goal will be achieved and focus on the process that will lead you to this. Even if you are not able to believe that you can achieve that goal, just assume that if it were to be achieved, what process can lead you to it. Define 1 or 2 steps or 1 or 2 daily actions and act upon them. The more you stack your daily activities, the stronger your conviction going to become over time, because you have the momentum on your side. It's the inertia that you must overcome right now, the inertia of the rest. Once you overcome the initial inertia, you can accelerate over time in order to gain the momentum. And once that that momentum is on your side, when that happens, it will be a self-sustaining system moving you toward your goals without any external force required, without you need to push yourself. That's the stage that we want to reach, right? And with that, I'm concluding this video. Let me know in the comment at which stage you find yourself right now and how are you planning to move forward. Also, if you want me to talk about any particular topic, let me know in the comments and I will try to cover that in my future videos. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, much love and peace.